I'm Joanna. Welcome to Nanny's Country Treasures. This is a Sew It Saturday. So anyway, we are going to be making a stocking. Okay, I want to make one for my daughter. And it's I'll show you different ways to do one. But anyways, I'm going to be working on my vintage 401A over here. It is supposedly the last Singer that has metal gears before they jumped over to the plastic geared machines. She is relatively quiet, so that is a plus for me working on my channel. I'll have a free printable of the stocking on my blog, and I'll try to put it on my Facebook page. So if you're on my Facebook, it'll be over there. And I'm just gonna stop gabbing because I could do that for the longest of time, trust me. And we're gonna get to it. So I'm gonna move my camera and put you down here so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I hope you can see what I am doing. This is what your printable will look like, and you will need paper tape, not scotch tape, because you're going to be you might have to iron your pattern, so you always want to make sure you got paper tape. Print these on full page, and this of course doesn't print, it leaves a margin, or at least mine does. I have a HP Envy, so I'm just gonna line these up the best I can, and I am going to tape them together, of course, where it says tape here. That's a no-brainer, isn't it? But anyway, that's how you assemble this pattern, and I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to do my tape longer so that I know that it is on here. And this tape is thin, and you can see right through it, which is a plus. And I'm going to tape it on the front, and I'm also going to tape it on the back. That just, I don't know. I feel better about it, so that's why I do it. These don't have to match because we're going to cut them off. So now when you cut your pattern out, okay, and I hope you can see this, my lighting is terrible, okay, and I apologize about that. But anyway, you're going to cut all the way down and around this pattern. This right here, you cut this piece right here off. This is going to be your hanging strap, okay? So you'll want to cut this off, save this piece, and then cut all the way around this. I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. Another thing, make sure when you cut this paper, you use a pair of scissors for paper, not your fabric. Paper will dull your fabric scissors, and then you won't be able to cut your fabric anymore, okay? So use just whatever Dollar Tree dollar pair of scissors, or Walmart 98-cent, whatever, and cut your pattern. Okay, so your pattern pieces should look like this, okay? Now, you're gonna need your fabrics, and I am doing hers from that old sweater. I made a pumpkin out of this sweater in the fall. I always wanted one, so I made a pumpkin. So I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna make the stocking. Put your right sides together of your fabric, and this fabric, this sweater, okay, if you use a fabric that is thin, this actually has holes in it, so I have to make a lining, okay? So if you didn't need a lining, all you would have to do is cut your stocking out, and I'm actually going to use this end as the top of mine, but I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm going to use that as the top. But if you had a thicker fabric, you only need to cut your one stocking, okay? That's it. But I have to do two because I have a lining. So I'm going to put my pattern down. Whew, I had to cough, sorry. And I'm going to take my pins. Now, if you have pattern weights and you can do it that way, by all means, go for it, honey. I can't. Not on something like this. Make sure your pins don't go this way because you can't cut if you put your pins that way. Just pin it all the way around and then cut this out. I don't like working with paper patterns either, but you know, that's just between you and me. The reason I unpinned and pinned because, ouch, my pins are sharp with this pin cushion, y'all. My pins were bubbling up, so, you know. Anyway, now you're just going to cut this out with this fabric right here. Y'all don't have to watch me do this. Now that I have it cut, I'm going to remove my pins. Leave it like it is because it is already inside out. And then you can use binder or you can use clips or whatever you choose to do. I think I am gonna clip it just for time's sake. I can throw them back in this thing easier. But anyway, I'm just going to take my clips, and I'm cheap, and I buy these at Hobby Lobby when they go on sale. Just, I don't know. You might can find a plastic one's cheaper on Amazon. I don't know. I'll have to look and do a comparison and let y'all know. But anyway, when you pin this or clip this, make sure that your edges are still together. You don't want one up from the other, you know what I'm saying? Make sure they're all together when you're clipping, pinning, or whatever it is you're doing. I've got several pins in here, or clips in here. I love this magnetic thing. Y'all can pick these up at Harbor Freight if you're out and about and have one in your area. Now I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm just going to straight stitch all the way around this. And I'll show you how I do that. So I tried to rig up a light over here so y'all could see, because watch when I turn my light on for my singer. You can't see nothing. So I'm trying to rig, you know, I put a light over here so that maybe y'all could see a little bit about what I'm doing anyways. But I went ahead and cut out the inside, my lining. You have to cut a lining when you do this from a sweater or whatnot, you know. So anyway, I am just going to take my sweater and pray this sews. I'm going to run this through here. I'm doing a straight stitch, and all I'm gonna do is leave this in the middle and then run it down the side of my foot like I normally do. I want to back stitch, and then I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna do this all the way around and leave the top open, of course. So that's what I'm gonna do to this piece and this piece. But these clips are so easy. I'm running off course, y'all. Running off course. It happens. Just go back and go again. Make sure when you're sewing you keep your two pieces even together. try not to pull too much while you're sewing if you have a sweater. And I'm gonna finish this. Okay, so we're all sewn together, and I hope your angle is great. My hair, good Lord. Oh, that's string. That ain't my hair. Some of it's my hair. Anyway, you need to clip your threads and don't throw them in the floor. Because that's what I do. Okay, so once you have it all ready, you're going to turn these inside out, both of them. This is the way I'm doing this one because I'm going to have a cuff at the top, okay? So you're going to turn this out so you have your little stocking here. Now, make sure when you put it in there, you're lining it up so that your stocking is not got a lump in it or whatever. But see how this fabric is firming up this sweater here a little bit, and then you're just gonna rub your hand in and pull. Make sure you pull and get this flat. Well, my heel has a knob on it, but whatever. We're on knob heel. It's a joke. Never mind. You might get it. You might not. I don't know. I'm corny. Okay, so these two are like this. Okay, you want these even, Steven, right here. Now, you can take this and you can stitch around it, but I am not gonna stitch around it, okay? Excuse me. You can use fur. Now, if you want to, since this is a finished edge, before you sewn the sides, you could have put one on and then sewn it together, and this would have been there. That's the way the Dollar Trees are. And then the back is open. But I couldn't do it that way because I have a piece of fabric. You can also use fur. That would be gorgeous. But we're not doing that either. I am going to use this right here because I think it's so cute. So I'm going to make a cuff, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and there's no need to worry about it. This won't shed, okay? No, it's good to go. So what I want to do is I want to lay this here, and I'm gonna have to cut it, but I have to leave a little space for sewing. So you want to account for a little space, and then you want a little space over here, and you're just going to go beside of your stocking, using your stocking as a guide, and cut your band off, okay? Now, you cut this way. So you want to now turn this. Oh, I have to cut the bottom. You need 2 pieces is what you need. My bad. Okay, now I have 2 pieces. So you're going to take these 2 pieces and you're just going to pull the bottom out and place it on top of this one. Okay? You want these 2 even. You want these sides even. And then you're going to go to your machine and you it sticks to my cruddy fingers, for crying out loud. You're just going to go to your machine and you're going to sew the same seam width as you did this, as your stocking. Sew a straight line down, straight line down. Leave the top and the bottom open. Just to let you know, I am pinning mine so that it don't shift and get wonky on me. So I'm just putting my pins in there. One at the top and one at the bottom on each side. Okay, so both sides are sewn. They're secure and they're on there. So I'm going to take this top right here, okay? And I'm going to leave my, you can pin this to make sure it doesn't shift. I'm going to use bigger pins just because I'm going to take them out. I just want to see what I'm doing. I just want to make sure that these two right here don't shift, okay? I pinned the whole thing. You want to make sure you don't pin the whole thing too. Y'all, I do these live pretty much, you know, so when I mess up, you see it, and you know, it is what it is. People mess up. We're not perfect creatures yet. I've said that I don't know how many times, you know. But anyway, now that I have these two pinned together and open, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to turn it inside. Let me see. Let me figure this out. Okay, so I figured it out. This goes the right way, okay? So inside, you want to pin your top, okay? The right side to the wrong side. Right side to wrong side. You want to pin it that way because that's the way we're going to sew it. Make sure everything is tucked down in there, okay? So that you can sew this. So I do not want these well, it doesn't matter. I would really rather use pins. Because I'll probably sew over them even though you're not supposed to. So I'm going to pin it because my machine has to go inside here. So I'm going to pin it inside. Okay, make sure all of your layers are together. So when you flip this, you're going to have to sew it again, but this goes on here just like this. I feel I need to explain this one more time. Not that you're dumb or anything. I'm not insinuating that, okay? It's just sometimes I don't explain things well, so I just want to make sure that you understand what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so your stocking is, ouch, sorry, pins are sharp. There is steel wool in here. If you haven't seen that video, there is steel wool in my pincushion, and it like sharpens my needles like you would not believe. But it's awesome, but it hurts. Anyways, you're going to want your fabric the right side this way, okay? This is the right side of my stocking. So this will be the outside. On the inside, you have your inside sweater, okay? Then you have your inside of your lining, and it will be flipped inside out, so it'll be the right way. So these two will be against each other, if that makes sense. So you'll have, say this is the right, you'll have both sides looking the same in there. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I know what I'm saying. And then you have the fluffy side toward the inside, okay? This will be on the outside, so you want this on the inside. And then I pinned it all the way around real good so that nothing's not shifting. And I am just going to go sew this on here right around this edge, just like I do everything that I sew, it seems like. And I'll show you what to do next. So I lied. I didn't mean to, but I didn't sew it on the edge. I sewed it with my needle. This was on the edge of my presser foot, and then my needle was on the left. So if your machine will go all the way to the left, that's great. If not, then you have to move your fabric over to the 5/8 mark. But anyways, I did that because this is kind of uneven and I wanted to make sure that I caught all of it in my stitching. So now I am just, I hate doing that. I'm scared I'm gonna cut myself. I'm just make sure you got all your needles out, okay? Because when you turn this, you don't want your needles in there. Yeah, I'm crazy for doing this, but that's okay. So now you're gonna pull this out. And this will go over this, just like this. But I want to make sure that mine doesn't move. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I can iron it, but I don't know how this would iron. I have an expensive iron and I don't really need anything stuck to my iron. So I am going to go over here and I am going to take my machine and I'm going to pinch these two together like this. And I am going to run a top stitch around this very close to the top edge just to hold everything together and make this stay down, okay? So my top stitching is done and that's what it looks like all the way around, and that you don't even see it in the fur, but now it will stay down and I don't have to worry about it. So for the strap, you just want to cut a piece that's this big, okay? So you just want to cut this big, and this is going to be our strap. So I'm going to cut this out and then show you what to do with it. So you're going to take this thing, your fabric, and you're going to fold it in half, right sides together. And then I'm not going to pin it, and I am going to sew, but I'll probably zigzag, but I don't know. You can zigzag or straight stitch all the way down close to this edge right here, okay? Just close to the edge. Now I have my strap sewn, and this is the fun part. I buy these pins right here. They do not have a hole in them. This is a normal one, and this is the one with no hole. I get these at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still carry them. I did have them in my Amazon store, and these are the coolest little things. What you're going to do is on your stitching side, okay, so you don't rip anything, put your safety pin through it. This is why I like these. These, you can take the pin, go all the way up, poke your end through, okay, and pull this over. This is so easy. These bobby pins come in 2 sizes at Hobby Lobby. I'll have to check and see if they still have them. If they do, I'll let you know. I'll type it in above. It's that easy. It is turned, y'all. It is turned. Now all you have to do is take this strap, and if it's cotton fabric, you might want to iron it, but you know, you can't iron this. And I'm just going to take on the make sure you're on the back side, okay? And just put it in here. And because this is so thick, I am just going to sew this right there. Just sew back and forth across it so that you know that it is secure and you are done. Strap is on and we are done. We are done. So this is what her little stocking looks like. I can monogram it if I want to, but it's just really cute. So when it hangs, like you could give her some sewing stuff in there, you know? It'll stay real nice. Now this is just 2 that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I told you I'd show you different ways. This is one way. I like these. They look finished. Anyways, I just like the sweater look myself. But anyway, this is what I was telling you about. You know, I bought these last year. I don't know what they have this year. I haven't looked. But, you know, they have the one on one side. This is just 2 pieces. Okay? This is just your front and your back. This has material on it on the front. But just because they made it out of felt. But anyway, they just took theirs and they sewed their piece of fur in as they were sewing their sides up, and then when they turned it out, it's all cohesive, and they sewed their fur to their stocking right here. But you don't have to do that. You can just leave it, you know, you could just drape it over your piece of fabric like this and let that hang over. It's not gonna go anywhere. So anyway, and then they just took the top and folded it down and made a hem in the top, and then they attached their loop in there. So that's the way they did this one. Now this one is kind of like what we done, except I had to secure my fabric and they didn't secure this one. But this is just their stocking, and then you sew this around it, and when you turn it out, you fold this down, and that's all this is. They didn't top stitch this or anything. It is what it is, and that's their stocking. So on this one, this is the easiest one in my opinion. You just, like we did, make your stocking and then put this on it. You might have to play around with it to figure out if you're going to fold it out and it comes out right. But anyway, they just hem this. But like I said, if it's fur, you don't have to hem it. But anyway, that is some ways that you can make stockings. And like I said, I don't remember what I said because my husband came home and I lost all train of thought of what I was doing in here. But anyway, you can monogram these. If you have an embroidery machine, you can embroidery on these. Most people have heat presses or an iron and a Cameo or Cricuts. So even with the little Cricut Joy, you can personalize these and just heat press your monogram. You can do the name here and a big monogram here, or you know, down the foot. This is becoming trendy, you know, down the foot of these this year. So anyways, yeah, this is how you make stockings. I would love to see what y'all are doing on my Facebook page, so post your pictures of what you're doing, your crafts and whatnot. It'd be fun to see it. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you don't mind, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and become part of my YouTube family, and then ring that bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. And with all that being said, I'm going to shut up and get out of your way, and I want you to know that you are a blessing to me. Goodbye.